Everybody, Bennett for the Bennett Podcast, and welcome to Blood Bowl 2025 Team Guides, Skaven. So we're going through every team available in Blood Bowl Season 3, and we're having a look at what the team roster is, how the players work, and what you can run with one box from Games Workshop. Now, this is my favourite team. This is Skaven, and they've been a little bit changed up from the last edition to this edition, so this is going to be an interesting one. So let's begin. All right, so Skaven team guide. Boop. So they've stayed at 50k rerolls. We've got them down as tier 2. When it comes to tiering for this edition, Games Workshop is going to produce some kind of PDF and put the tier ranking out for that. When it comes to League, it doesn't matter. And when it comes to tournaments, the tier doesn't really matter either, because most tournaments will kind of rank them themselves, or more often than not, just invent new tiers just to try and make the game more interesting. They can have an apothecary, and their special rule for their team is Underworld Challenge, which only affects which start players they can take. Okay, alright, so when it comes to the roster for Skaven, they have lost 2 gutter runners, but otherwise they've maintained everything else. So you can have 0 to 16 Skaven linemen, 0 to 2 gutter runners, but those gutter runners have been compensated and now they have stab. We'll talk about that in a bit. Skaven throwers, you can take 0 to 2. Skaven throwers basically been untouched. They're a little bit cheaper now. They've still got passing 2+. They've still got edge 3+ with sure hands, and they've still got movement 7, which means that they are still in... yeah, all right. All right, the vampire thrower is the best thrower in the game, but the Skaven thrower is right up there. Then you've got 0 to 2 Skaven Blitzers. Now, again, as compensation for losing 2 of the best players in the game, the gutter runners, the Skaven Blitzer has been granted movement 8 and strip ball. Now, most Blitzers in this edition have got a little summit. They've got a little something special, a little extra skill. Strip ball on your Skaven Blitzer, you know, it's fine, it's good, it's going to come up every now and again. I would have prepared something like tackle or, you know, whatever, but I mean, I will take it. Oh, break tackle would have been fantastic on the movement 8 dodge 2+. That would have been compensation. They don't have that, but I will tell you that a movement 8 strength 3 block piece with edge 3+, it is not bad. It's not 2 more gutter runners, but it's not bad. And you can still take the Rat Ogre, who I believe has remained unchanged. So let's kick off with the lineman. So 0 to 16 Skaven lineman, movement 7, strength 3, edge 3+, passing 4+, armor 8+, cost 50k. The stat line, the cost, completely unchanged. The role within the team, completely unchanged. A little bit of a bonus here, they can now get devious skills on a primary, so they're devious and general. Now, the devious skills tree is full of interesting things, but the first thing you're going to come to mind is probably like dirty player. It's foul-related skills. So the Skaven lineman, they can get all your general stuff, but they can also get the foul stuff as well. And agility, mutation, and strength on a secondary, and secondaries are a little bit cheaper in this edition. So it's 3 for a random primary, 6 for a chosen primary, there are no random secondaries anymore, and 10 SPPs for a chosen skill. So actually, Skaven linemen, they're pretty decent. Now with movement 7 and edge 3+, they are going to get a touchdown every now and again, especially as you are now down gutter runners. So you will be running more Skaven linemen. I can see Skaven becoming a little bit different here. The obvious thing to do is, you know, block or kick or wrestle, right? Absolutely fine. But where that SPP is going to be flowing around a little bit, where 10 and 14 for a stat up is going to be kicking around a little bit more, we could see some very interesting Skaven linemen, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and what I'm hoping to see. Okay, it's the gutter runner, the best player in Blood Bowl, up there with the war dancer. Just, yeah. Okay, we've only got 2 of them now, but that's all right. So the gutter runner, 0 to 2, movement 9, strength 2, edge 2+, passing 4+, armor 8+. So strength 2 and armor 8+ means they're quite vulnerable players, which is why we used to have 4 of them. But movement 9, edge 2+, and the fact they comes with dodge, that just means they're such a scoring threat. Now, the gutter runner is just a fantastic player. Now, when it comes to the fact they've now got stab, it's an interesting one, right? Okay, there's benefit here in some cases. So when it comes to stab, you can now potentially take a good dodge with a gutter runner, and then go for a stab against a highly skilled up but low armor target. Okay, so think another gutter runner or a war dancer that's you know, got blodge, like trying to take a decent block against a well-skilled up player, when you're strength 2, can be a little bit challenging. So now they've got stab. It means that this player can jump into 3+, 4+, 2 tackle zones and a 4+ with a reroll and take a go at a stab, which is just a straight armor roll. It's not the best, and if it does work or doesn't work, your gutter runner is probably going to end up in the tackle zone of a player. So it's not the best, but what it does do is it gives you an extra choice. And that is never a bad thing in Blood Bowl, is giving you more options. We've already seen that with the Bretonnian team. It's a team for options. You've got a chance to do something most of the time. And the Gutter Runner is solid. Now, you can run, you know, in the old edition, you could run 2 Gutter Runners with a Rat Ogre, and they were fine. Problem with Gutter Runners, thank you, Airbrush, is that you will lose one. And when you've only got 2, losing one becomes a bigger deal. They also get Devious on a primary, but realistically, you're going to be looking at that agility in general. You get mutations and strength on a secondary, and that mutation access being a little bit cheaper means that your Gutter Runners might actually be able to, look, 10 SPP for a Gutter Runner, that's not a huge amount. That's 2 touchdowns and an MVP. You could go straight to 2 heads and then your Edge 1+ dodging around. Whether that's going to keep you alive versus block, I don't know. But at least with the 2 Gutter Runners you've got some more access to skills at a lower end. All right, now we've got the best thrower in the game, with the asterisk of not being the strength 4 dude. Right, the Skaven thrower, basically unchanged here. Movement 7, strength 3, edge 3+, with sure hands for that reroll on the pickup. Passing 2+, armor 8+. They've gone down in price from 85k to 80k. Pass, sure hands, general and passing on a standard skill, a single skill, primary skill, sorry. Whew, going through all the additions there, Ben, and then straight to everything else on a double. Agility, devious, mutation, and strength. So this player gets access to absolutely everything. Now, when it comes to Skaven, historically, like having 4 Gutter Runners to throw to, fantastic. Now, you've still got 2 Gutter Runners to throw to, but the thrower, you may want to kind of take the route of them becoming another runner. Pass, sure hands, and then potentially block. It is never a bad thing. It just helps secure this player. Now, with cheaper mutation access, essentially on this whole team, you do have the chance to lean into some of those other skills. Extra hands, you know, for that 2+ pickup. All of the, you know, you've got the extra heads for that 2+ dodge. Where that secondary has got a little cheaper, you do have potentially the option for it. The Skaven thrower is just an excellent player. Whether you want to be throwing the ball or not, it's fantastic. And when it comes to actually throwing the ball, the fact that wildly inaccurate's gone as well means this player is even better, because you are either going to fumble it next door to you, or it's going to go near enough where you want it to go. So very much love the Skaven thrower, and you know, get it cheaper. That's not bad. And then we've got the new and improved Skaven Blitzer. So movement 8 is better than movement 7. Strength 3 is good. Edge 3+ is good. Passing 4+ actually got a little bit better. Armor 9+ stayed the same. Block and has now got Strip Ball. Is just going to mean that actually your Blitzer gets that extra chance if you can get him onto the ball carrier. General and strength for primary skills for these guys. You do have a chance with all of these Skaven players to save up a little bit more and get double a little bit quicker. And that is genuinely going to be playing on my mind when I'm running Skaven. And spoiler alert, we're going to be running Skaven in the next Bonehead Championship that kicks off the first week of January. Skaven are going to be there. The Neverbay Nightmares are coming back. And when it comes to it, I mean, a Skaven Blitzer here, being movement 8, being able to potentially take 2 heads at 10 SPP is really, really, really tempting. But, you know, we need to see how this edition plays out a little bit more. The beautiful thing about this is the core rules haven't changed, but the way every single one of these teams is going to develop is going to be different. Historically, you'd want your blitzers to become maybe tackle mighty blow pieces. You know, strip ball's actually pretty good, you know, to be your sweepers, right? But when it comes to this edition, that movement 8 really makes you think, okay, do I want to make this guy better at dodging around to back up the fact that it's just 2 gutter runners now? We will try, we will explore, and I cannot wait for Blood Bowl 3 to catch up with Blood Bowl Season 3, because then we can farm a load of SPP and test out the best way to generate the Skaven Blitzer in this edition of Blood Bowl. And the Rat Ogre is a fantastic big guy, actually. So movement 6, strength 5, edge 4+, passing 6+, armor 9+, 150k, strength on a primary, agility, general, and mutation on a secondary, animal, savagery, frenzy, loner 4+, mighty blow, and prehensile tail. So the Rat Ogre is fantastic. That prehensile tail and strength 5 just means he's a proper menace. Animal savagery means you can always activate him as long as you've got somebody there for him to take his misery out on. Frenzy means often you are going to be making a 4-die block or a 6-die block if you can get some decent guard support in there. And now with guard on a double being slightly cheaper for your line rats, and also having those blitzers be movement 8, you should be able to kind of get a little bit of support there if you're going to be hitting with your Rat Ogre. And again, I'm going to talk about the fact that secondaries are a little bit cheaper here, because it means that at 10 SPP instead of 12 SPP, your Ogre, then you can go block, you can look at mutations, you can do some horrible things with big guys in this edition. And I'm quite excited by that. You can get claws on him, which will be wonderful. You can save up and get block, which is going to be wonderful. You can even just spend 6 SPP right off the bat and get break tackle. And break tackle in this edition gives you +1 normally. It gives you +2 if you're strength 4. And it gives you +3 if you are a strength 5 or more player to 1 dodge per turn. That's a 1+ dodge on your Rat Ogre. Now, he's got loner 4+, so it's always going to be risky when it comes to big guys doing absolutely anything at all. But tell me it's not tempting to take that Rat Ogre, give him break tackle, and just walk him into a cage. Edge 4+, into 3 tackle zones, it's still 4+. It's still a bad roll, and I didn't say it was a good idea, but it is tempting. Now, what we're doing for every team in this edition, because this seems to be the 1-box edition, is kind of presenting what you can build by picking up 1 box of the team from Games Workshop. Now, the Rat Ogre isn't present on here, but you can fit him in. So the 1-box roster for Skaven is all 12 players. That's 2 Gutter Runners, 2 Blitzers, 2 Skaven Throwers, 6 Skaven Linemen, 3 Rerolls, an Apothecary, and a Partridge in a Pear Tree that takes you to 12 players and gets you 970k. Now, there's a couple of really easy things you can do there to fit in a Rat Ogre at 150k. You just drop a Thrower, drop a Lineman, take a Rat Ogre, basically, and you lose either your Reroll or your Apothecary. Now, it's funny, like, I do like the Apothecary, and if you're going to go for some big hitters, then taking the Apothecary early is really good. In fact, in this edition where you've got the Gutters and the Blitzers, if you can take that Apothecary earlier, you are going to need those players to stick around. So the Apothecary really is quite important. But you need to save 80k there for a Thrower, 50k for a Lineman, that's 130k, that gives you 160. So basically, this roster... No, 1 less Thrower, 1 less Lineman with a Rat Ogre. You've still got the Apothecary, you've still got the Reroll. You know, you can run this straight out of the box, you can get a big guy, and then you can run a slightly better version. But big guys are unreliable, but in this edition you don't have anything else to buy, and the Rat Ogre is going to give you some real murder, which I do very much like. Okay, so Skaven in this edition. Movement 8 Blitzers are really good fun. The way the team's going to develop is different. The Rat Ogre is... It's still not ubiquitous. He is a liability, but where you don't have those 4 Gutter Runners, running without the Rat Ogre, without those 4 scoring threats, it does change up how the team plays. So, you know, I know how to run Skaven in the 2020 edition. I wouldn't want to say I know exactly how to run it in this edition. I think we are going to have to get a lot of games in so that we can get the reps up. I miss my Gutter Runners. I'm going to miss my Gutter Runners. I'm probably going to bring it up for the rest of my life. But, you know, running the Roger with 2 Gutter build is a really solid way to start League. So, actually, I might be able to forget about the extra 2 Gutter Runners, but that Apo and keeping the Gutters alive. Running a 1 Gutter game is a bit rubbish with Skaven. Even with the Movement 8 Blitzers, it's still going to be a bit rubbish. But it tones Skaven down a little bit. But they're going to be fun to develop up, so there's still a ton there to play with. So I love Skaven. I love them a little less in this edition, but it does remain to be seen, right? I mean, having the secondaries and the stat ups be a little bit cheaper means you can pretty much get movement 9 Blitzers really easily. Movement 9 Blitzer, maybe 2 heads, build yourself a strength 3 block Gutter Runner. Oh yeah, I'm in. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking.